Y'all stand back up. Deuteronomy chapter 30. Deuteronomy chapter 30. One verse. Deuteronomy chapter 30. Come on, quiet singing so we can read this verse. got a job, God. I'm grateful, yes, God. My children are healthy, God. I'm grateful, God.
Let me tell you something. If you're not grateful for everything he's done for you, the clothes you wear, he did that. He gave you protection. He's providing for you. Y'all rushing, but I want y'all to understand how grateful I am, Jesus. It's like I had to take the mic and I was like, God, I would do it. And I was like, I need to reach somebody tonight. I want y'all to understand how grateful you should be that he just woke you up. Yes, he can do a lot of things, but just to wake you up in the morning so that you can go and pray.
God is good. Mercy is everlasting. God is faithful. God is my strength and my hope. Time of trouble, he has a secret place. Time of war, he knows how to give you peace. Time, darkness, he knows how to give you light. We thank God today for this wonderful, magnificent opportunity. Another chance at life. Another chance at life. Lord, we come to just lift him up, to glorify God. Lift up Jesus. To encourage those who have a searching heart. This book of Deuteronomy, the Old Testament. Deuteronomy chapter 30. 1 verse 19. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 19.
Amen.
These are the words that has been inked to this page. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and cursings. Therefore, choose life, that both you and your seed may live. Some Bible may say, I call heaven and earth as a witness against you today. I set before you life and death, blessings and cursing. Choose life that you may live and your children as well. This is a textual, topical text. Simply means that this verse dictates the subject, the proposition, divisions, and conclusion. Therefore, I vindicate myself by only introducing the processional of the story. What happened before verse 19 comes into fruition. The fifth book of Moses, labeled as the second book of law. This new generation of Israelites are camped outside the Jordan River, preparing to go into Canaan, the land to which God promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These were the new generation. The others' lives ended in 40 years of wandering in the desert. Can I say it now? God sometimes has to let longevity get rid of some tradition. Longevity has a way of filtering the mindset of some. Longevity has a way of walking you down. So these are the new generation. Yes. So Moses admonished them. In other words, Moses warned them. He said, listen now, do not repeat the same useless mistake that your forefathers made. Therefore, we understand it this way. Things that grandmama, granddaddy used to do that was not lined up with the Bible, we need to not repeat them because there are serious problems down the road. I take the same assignment that Moses took as he admonished those new generation of Israelites. Moses stressed two things. One, the unfaithfulness of the Israelites. I stress the unfaithfulness of those who come and serve and be committed when they want to. Unfaithfulness. The second thing Moses stressed was the faithfulness of God. I stress as well, God wakes us up early every morning. God kept the blood running warm in our veins every night, heartbeat in perfect rhythm every hour. Moses stressed the unfaithfulness of the Israelites and the faithfulness of God. I want you to know, even though I share the same assignment as Moses, I must add this. God did not intend for the Bible just to be read and studied, but rather to obey and to live by it. God wouldn't have you read the Bible for merely good information, but rather God's objective was and is that the scriptures change your life. Do you hear what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to engage in something if there's no productivity behind it. It's useless to read something that doesn't propel you to the next level. I strongly dramatize that you mustn't take a defenestrate or dilatory attitude. In simply words, don't take the message and throw it out the window. Or become a procrastinator and do nothing with the message, then it serves you no purpose. I have the spelling if you need it later on. But I want you to know the message is, the subject is, the jury is in, but the choice is you. He said, I called heaven and earth to record, as witnesses to record. So therefore, he brought the jury in, but the jury did not give the verdict yet because the choice is yours. I caution you to proceed with caution. Why caution, Pastor? Because surely the choice is yours. But we cannot forget about being the choice is yours, so are the consequences. So therefore, before we engage in making the decision, we must rationalize what will the consequences be. Long-term decision that I'm going to make today, how would it affect me tomorrow? How would it affect my family tomorrow? If I do it now for self-gratification, if I do it now to elevate myself, what ramification would it have down the road? Am I helping somebody? I believe you're listening to this message. Quickly, let us look and view at least 5 things from this one verse, and then I'll be at your way. First, we see the authority and the power of God. He said, I call heaven and earth as witnesses. You must have some authority to stop everything. You must have some power to summon heaven and earth. God subpoenaed heaven and earth. Do you need God to subpoena you to come and testify how good he is? Do you need someone to pump you so you can give God some praise? This verse shows us the authority and the power of God. God called heaven and earth. Why does he call heaven and earth? Because whatever you bound in heaven will be bound on earth. Whatever you loose in heaven will be loose on earth. So therefore, if you haven't asked for it and done what it takes to get it, then you can't go before God and blame nobody. Not only that we see the authority and the power of God, but we see the record stored in the archives of God. God will not have a meltdown. God will remember everything you've done, good and bad, not unless you have asked forgiveness for the bad things, and God will cast it away, never to confront you. But God is not going to forget your commitment and your choice. The choice is yours. So are the consequences. If you dance, young folk, seniors as well, to the music, surely you're going to pay the piper. If you shortcut school every day, surely when time comes for examination. If you show up when you want to show up, surely when graduation time comes. Don't blame the instructors. The choice. If your marriage is on the brink and you haven't given 100%, don't blame nobody. The choice is yours, the text suggests. Not only that we see the authority and the power of God, but we see the witnesses and the archived records of God. Thirdly, we see the generosity of God. Huh? Yeah. What do you mean, Pastor, generosity? He said, I set before you. We see even when in our senseless blundering, God is still generous to us. Even when we shortchange God, he still fills our cup until it runs over. Even we don't give him the praise, he still gives us life in our body. We serve a generous God. Yes, a generous God. And you've got to know that. He gives and he keeps on giving. He says, I place before you today. He's in control of every inch of the universe, but he has enough tenacity to handle your problem. I place before you, the table is spread, he says, and the feast of the Lord is going on. It's your choice. Whether you're going to partake of it or not. Yeah. So we see in verse 19 the authority of God, the power of God, the witnesses of God, the archives of God, and God's generosity. We got to get this. When, Sister Hutchinson, when God placed something before you, the devil in hell can't remove it. When God picks you up, doesn't matter what, who says what, no one can pull you down. But when God pulls you down, nobody can pick you up. You've got to understand this message today and don't throw it out the window because it applies to all of us. The generosity of God. I place before you. And when God gives us things and stuff, and sometimes we misuse these things God has given unto us, because when he gives us and keep on giving, sometimes people get it twisted and allow the things that God gives to govern them. Don't you know that it profit you nothing for gaining the whole world, yet losing your soul? Yeah, the jury is in, but God has the witnesses sitting down, but he has you to make the choice. Why? Because you will reap what you sow. It's simple. The farmer goes and the farmer invests in seeds, and he plants cucumbers, and he expects cucumbers to come up. If cabbage come up, there's a problem. His choice was not to plant cabbage. His choice was to plant cucumber. If you want something from God, you've got to make the right choice, my brother. How do I make the right choice, Pastor? Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge God, and God will. Because people might, but God will. Yes, you got to get this in your spirit. He says, yeah. The choice has always been yours. Can I deviate for a second? Adam, you can't blame Eve. I told you not to, but you decide that Eve had more power than I have, and therefore, Adam, you can't blame Eve. Choice is yours, but you choose not to obey. I said the Bible, scriptures is not good for just information. You've got to obey it and live it. And it should change your life. Not only the Bible tells us, 19th verse, that we see the authority of God, that we see the power of God, that we know who the witnesses are of God. We know where the archive records are stored. Not only that God is a generous God, but then God is a God of direction. Advice. Let me spend just a little bit time there. A God of advice. He says, I am going to place this before you. And I'm going to just sit back and watch and see what you do with it. You have the choice. Take the life or death, the blessing or cursing. But then let me extrapolate another entity of his advice. He says, choose life. He gives the advice. He says, I'm going to place 4 things on the table. But I am going to nudge you what's going to be productive, what's going to be beneficial, what's going to lead you from one level to the next. He says, choose life. Well, what is life? Is life just living? Let us look at the fragments of life. Life is moving. Life is productive. Life is happiness. Life is joy. Life is peace and sorrow. That's life. But if you choose Christ, who is life, my brothers and sisters, then when darkness comes, you can still walk in the light because he is the light of your life. So choose life. In a sense of urgency, God said choose life. Even though I'm going to give you the opportunity, I am not going to demand you. I am not going to be a dictator God. Because I am not an oppressive God. I want you to choose, take what I recommend. Can I go a little deeper with this? How many times you've said to your children, I recommend you to do this. I know you have choices, but I recommend that you take this choice. Sometimes they get off on a quick wheel and be in self and in empowerment in self and go down that road. When they get down that road, and they find out that it's a dead end, and no U-turn is allowed, then what happens? They didn't consider the consequences. The choice is yours. Then finally, why is all this so pertinent to why we should embrace this, Pastor? Because not only that, the authority and the power of God, not only that, the witnesses and the icons of God, not only that, the generosity of God, not only that, the advice and direction of God, but lastly, in this verse, Mark, the promises of God. And when we corral this verse, we find God says, I call. God can call anything into existence. Can I pause? You can call anything into existence. The Bible says you can call things that are not as if they were. You can call happiness into existence. You can call deliverance into existence. You can call peace into existence. You can call prosperity into existence. But you've got to be connected to God. You cannot throw it out the window. You cannot procrastinate and be tardy about this word. I got to end with this. He says, it's important that you choose life. Because not only I'm going to bless you. That's deep right there. Not only that I'm going to bless you, not only that you're going to live, but your offspring, your children, Mark, is going to live. In the city, you may be in the city, your children may be in the country, but if you choose life, they would live because blessing flows from top down. So he sort of, I don't want to use the word bait us, but he sort of intrigued us to choose life. Because your household will be blessed. Didn't the scripture says, I'll bless you and your household? You cannot and do not have the power. You are not omniscient to know all things. You are not omnipresent. You and I cannot be in every place at the same time, but God can. So he said, if you choose life, I'll be every place that you can't be. The jury is in. But the choice is yours. Don't take this message today and defenestrate attitude and throw it out the window as good information. It must change your life. The scriptures must change your life. It must make a difference. Why? Because he loves you. Because he's concerned about you. Because he knows what you're going through. He knows what you're dealing with. He knows what you came out of. And he knows what's ahead of you. So consider the consequences before making the choice. I could have not thought about the spiritual side of the text I consider the consequences. And therefore, the good in my life outrule the bad in my life. So I urge you through the scriptures that you choose Christ, who is life. I am the way, the truth, and the life. So saith the Lord. The choice is yours. It has always been yours. And you have made some bona fide, productive choices in your life. Yes, you have. But you've also made some blunders. Haven't you? Didn't you make some choices and you said, Lord, what was I thinking? But God still bless you? Huh? The generosity. Because he knows that we are fallible. We can fall. Because of sin, we can fall. But when we fall at the wrong decision, we make the right choice by repenting. God, forgive me. And then he restores us because he's a generous God. Yes. Even when we stumble and fall, God is so generous. He'll reach down and pick you up. Turn you around and place your feet on solid ground because he's a God like no other God. I'm trying to go to my seat. Choice is yours. Whether you worship or not, whether you give or not, whether you come or not, the choice is yours. And so, the consequences as well. So, I believe, Mark, prophet says, I don't know about you, but as for me in my heart,
Serve the Lord.
you serve the Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah. When I'm down, we're going to serve the Lord.
That's right.
When the grocery is down, I'm going to serve. When I'm sick in the hospital, I'm going to serve the Lord. Because if I serve the Lord, everything will be all right. If I hold on to the God unchanging hand, everything's going to be all right.
Everything.
Yeah.
That's something.
Choice is yours. And so whatever your dilemma is, whatever you're facing, whatever you're dealing with, you continue to serve God. And he bring you through. Just give him a praise if you don't know. We're just grateful today for your presence, to know that God was speaking to all of us. We make choices all the time, and what am I going to wear this morning? What route am I going to take to go to church? Am I going to go to job this afternoon? Am I going to fix dinner tomorrow morning? The choice is yours. When you're faced with situation, am I going to be drawn into a trap by the devil? And my eyes are going to lead me to write a check that my feet can't catch. Yeah. And you have to make a choice as a gal. Am I going to bite off more than I can chew? The choice is yours. I'm trying to quit, but I can't. I'm trying to quit. The choice is yours. When you attempt it, God says, I am not going to allow you to be tempted more above what you can handle. So you can't say the devil can't make you do anything. You don't have to go to school if you don't want to. You don't have to do your homework if you don't want to. That's up to you. But when time comes to march across that stage, when everybody get their tassels and thrown into the left side, and your name not called, you can't blame the teacher. You can't blame anybody because the choice was yours. And now the consequences. If you can rationalize the end, I believe Solomon said, if you can deal with the end of the matter before the beginning of it, and somewhere in between the beginning and the end, you say, I don't think I do that. Yeah. You got to do this. And this is what Moses was admonishing the new generation of Israelites to do. Don't repeat that. Because they disobeyed God 40 years, many wander and die in the land of the wilderness. But you have another chance today. Don't get carried away by some smooth talking preacher. If they are smooth talking the word, then that's good. But if they're in self-mind, choice is yours. I got to, maybe next Sunday we do. We can't do it next Sunday. Choir, the choice is yours today. We're going to ask that those who can, as you stand, as you open the doors of the church, we're able to accept you as a candidate for baptism on your Christian experience by letter or restoration. The time is yours. Those that are standing in need of prayer, you want to come before God and make the choice. I'm tired of carrying this heavy load. He's able. Would you come to the altar? But I'm not too much concerned about you bending at the knees, whether bow at the heart, where God can filter and fix, and then your life will take a different turn. Maybe you just want to come and pray for somebody else. Be encouraged. God bless you. You may be seated if you desire. Stand if you must.
Oh, how we love you.
You're just simply going to go before the Lord.
Praise you.
Because I need prayer. All of us need prayer. Thank God for the time that He allows us to pray. Praying day is going to be over one day. Coming to church and preaching and singing and shouting and testifying on a cease one day. You would have time to say, oh, if I just have one more day, Lord, to go back down to the old landmark. If you give me one more hour, Lord, to just get back to the house of prayer one more time, if you take me off this hospital bed one more time, maybe God will. Maybe He won't. But today is a choice to yours to come and kneel before God who has all authority. In the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and our